Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Sean, I think I'm going to change the lyrics to that song after yesterday to check the rich and make sure he's all right, boy, because I tell you, last night I was furious. I was ahead in 3 out of 4 games at halftime, a couple of them by double digits, and watched every lead whittle away and turn halftime winners into losers, and not one single loser that was behind. If I got behind, I stayed behind. If I was ahead, it went the other way, and I swear to you. And then today, you know, in horse racing, I did a pick 4. I picked 5 out of 6 horses in one race, and you know damn right well which one's going to win when you do that. And, of course, that horse won. I had the winner in every other race, including beating a really heavy long shot. And, of course, I would have won $1,000. What's up, Drew? How are the oil fields, my man? And that made me so damn salty, Sean. I mean, I'm telling you, I threw my phone, and I put a dent in the wall about this wide and about that deep. Fortunately, I didn't crack the screen. I was just furious.
So the horse racing thing, I do the same thing. They say never to do that, but I do it all the time where you're like, yeah, that one, in this case, it was the one horse for you, but whichever horse you leave out, it's like, yeah, that horse isn't winning. I can save a few bucks here. Like, what's the odds that I hit everything else and this horse doesn't win? As far as the other thing, I
100%. Sean.
Yeah. I fell asleep last night, and, you know, you wake up and you're like, all right, I got to check all these scores. Well, I see all these texts from Rich, and I go, well, apparently Duke didn't win. Because
the funny thing is, I texted you when they were up 10, and I'm like, be prepared for Duke to lose, because I saw that same pattern play out all damn night. My team gets up, it's holding, and then all of a sudden, the floor goes, boop, and they go, and they crash, and it makes you, you know what, sometimes, and I can't be the only person on the planet that feels like this, but sometimes it just feels like the universe is effing with me. Do you know what I mean? To see how much bleep you can take before you get so peed off that you just take your computer and go all Animal House and whip it out the top window at anybody walking by, as if though you're like a Randy Johnson throwing a 400-mile-an-hour computer at somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. I will say some of that, too, is like, so the Warriors-Suns game, like I said yesterday, I've been down that road where the Warriors seemed like the better team. Okay, take the Warriors, but everybody was on the Warriors. So I tried something different. I went to Suns, you know, they're the home team, maybe the more battle-tested team, and it ended up working. So sometimes you just have to just tweak it a little bit. And I didn't even want to give up the 3 with the Suns, honestly. I didn't feel but it's like I've been down that road before. I knew which team was going to win, even if I couldn't legitimize it myself, you know what I mean?
Legitimize it?
Yeah, what a word, right?
There's no t-shirt. Legitimize it. I'm going to put that
there down. You go.
We're going to legitimize things.
A Moneyline Madmen original.
Spell that.
I don't know. It's not a word.
One more time. Say it again.
No, it's not a word.
One more time right now.
I don't even know how you would spell it.
What was it again?
Legitimize it.
Legit? Well, lies. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Put your picture under it. We'll say, am I legitimatized?
I am not, apparently, for using that word.
That's some good stuff right there, man. I'm going to end the show with that from now on, legitimize. Anyway, Sean, so tonight we got some NBA action, some college basketball actions. What do you feel? Let's see, the Mississippi, I put 250 on a SIG leg parlay, all one except, oof, that's just terrible. I hate that, Drew. I'm telling you, man, I feel like sometimes the inner anger in me comes out. You know, I had some real anger issues as a kid growing up, and sometimes as an adult they resurface, and I broke many a thing, some bones in my hand being angry as a kid. So I feel that coming in sometimes. I can see myself turning green in the mirror, except the muscles don't come. I wish it were that easy to get buff. Just get pissed off, be buff. In any case, Sean, so the NBA tonight. Let's talk a little bit about some interesting line movements. Then we'll talk about some injuries and see what the story is there. But Atlanta opened up, it looks to me like, at about a 2.5-point favorite. They're up to 4.5 now. The Cavs and that line is the most interesting one, because that one opened up and the Cavs are getting 8.5. Now that one's down to 3.5. So there's a lot of money apparently flowing their way. When you look at the under in the game between the can't even read my own damn handwriting. Who is that? The under? I don't even know. I can't remember. Who is that? Let's see. It looks like it says I can't read my own handwriting, Sean. So never. Oh, Houston maybe. I don't know. Forget it. And then the other line is the Minnesota New Orleans line. That line is moved from an over under of 210.5 up to 216.5. So that surprises me a little bit that you're seeing some of those lines move from unders to overs, because most of the NBA, you see these games going under. So the other one is Houston, and it says the Rockets. I just can't read my own handwriting. That one also opened up at 211.5, and it also moved up to over 216.5. So odd to see money going on the overs, considering how, I don't know. To me, I watch some basketball. I got to say, Sean, I don't got to want a little bit of rant, but the NBA is becoming borderline unwatchable. You have I mean, how can NBA players, maybe that guy the other day was right, maybe some European teams could beat U.S. teams, because how in the world does an NBA team full of NBA, the supposed best damn basketball players in the world, struggle to score 20 points quarter after quarter after quarter?
Yeah, it seems like every team has one quarter like that every game, it seems like.
Yeah, I was watching yesterday a game, and like they were like one team, I forget who it was. They were like 3 for 15 from the 3-point arc, and they were shooting like 62% from inside. It's not rocket science, folks. Get inside. You're shooting 62 inside the 3-point line, and you're shooting 12% from outside the 3-point line, and just watch guys brick after brick after brick from beyond the arc. Come on, man. About the only kid out there I think anymore that I like is the kid from Edwards from Minnesota, because he at least takes the ball to the basket.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Yes,
yeah, he takes the ball to the basket and he leaves Towns on the outside, so it's backwards.
Oh God, Towns. I don't even want to talk about Towns. I saw him the other day. Okay, now this guy's 7 feet something, right? I mean, he's 7
like 7'2", yeah.
Right. So he's got a duck under most, when you walk into the standard door. I mean, it's only about a foot over his head, but 8-foot ceilings, he has the duck going through every door. This dude is at the 3-point line doing fadeaway threes. Fadeaway at 7 feet tall. What the hell are you fading away from? Anyway, so besides my ego, what else is who's injured tonight?
So we got a few. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards is questionable. Speaking of that,
my favorite player in the league is out.
Well, he's questionable. J.D. McDaniels is out. Jared Vanderbilt's questionable. So they have a couple. The Atlanta-Indiana game. So you got Reddish, who's a game time decision wrist injury. Bogdanovich.
How did he hurt his wrist?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to speculate. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Is that what legitimatized? Is that
I see these names that I hear all the time. I say perfectly fine in my head. When they come out, it doesn't come out.
I think his first name is legitimatized, though. I'm pretty sure.
No. He got hurt Saturday, and he'll be out a couple weeks, so that's a big one for them. And then Indiana, Justin Holiday out due to COVID, and Miles Turner is game time decision, says illness.
So those tests haven't come back yet, huh?
Yeah, and then you got Jaylen Brown, who always seems to be questionable right now. They're managing that hamstring. And then the Heat, you were talking about them. The reason that line moves so much is Tyler Hero is now probable. Bam.
There you go.
Bam.
Let's go with Bam, yes.
Out. He had surgery on his thumb. And then you got Jimmy Butler, who's questionable. So that's probably why that line moves so much. Couple more. Dallas Porzingis is now probable. He was questionable earlier. And Willie,
probable.
Yeah.
Always hurt, man.
Willie Stein is out. And then the last big one is Paul George out due to rest. You got to love that one, too.
Oh, yes. Mental rest, probably, yes. But he's not in the bubble now, so he'll feel a little bit better about that. All right, let's talk a little bit about some big money, Sean, where some big money is flowing around tonight, right? Because sometimes you see the number of tickets are one size. What's up? Good. What's up, Razor Sharp? Good to see you again, my friend. You see some lines that where the tickets are heavy on one side, but the money is heavier on the other side. So let's look at that Indiana game. The Pacers, only 35% of the tickets are on the Pacers, but about 55 cents on the dollar is backing. So big money betting the Pacers. And the total in that game, you got 62% of the tickets are on the over, but damn near 80% of the money is on the under. The Cavs and the Heat, another situation like that where you have the numbers are almost identical. You have 62% of the tickets on the over, but 71 cents on the dollar on the under. So big money back in the under. The Rockets, Houston. We just saw this game with Oklahoma City. And again, if you can get a line on Christian Wood getting like 12.5 rebounds or more, I had to Dutch bet it last time. I think he ended up with like 19 rebounds.
21,
yeah. So,
and you know what's funny is I took your advice on that, and then you can bet, who has the most rebounds of the night. So I took him, and I thought 21 rebounds will be good, and that's the night Sabonis had a triple-double and had 25 rebounds.
Oh, God, that's horrible. But I think he'll do whatever that number is again tonight, Sean, but anyway, the Rockets, they're taking in less than 40% of the tickets, but almost 57% of the money. Minnesota, New Orleans, another one of these situations where all the tickets are on the over. Are those from some SBR betting percentages? They're from a couple different places that we look at, Razor. But most of the money on the Minnesota is on the over. Most of the tickets are on the over, but 75% on the money is on the under. LA and Sacramento, the Kings, again, most of the tickets are on the over, but most of the money is on the under, Sean. So that's where the big money plays are tonight. That's the so-called smart money. I don't know how much smarter they are than the rest of the world. Certainly smarter than I, because I forgot to change the banner there. Speaking of the NBA, Sean, who do you like tonight?
So we'll go with that 1-800-NEED-HELP game again. Houston, Oklahoma City. I at first was going to
just saw that game.
Yeah, I was going to first bet Houston, and then I looked deeper. Houston hasn't won a road game, even though they won 3 in a row. They haven't won a road game yet.
They're the hottest team in the NBA.
Oklahoma City's lost. Well, they're not the hottest. Phoenix is the hottest.
Well, the hottest team outside of Phoenix. How about that?
Oklahoma City lost 6 straight.
Championship futures going right now.
So these teams met 3 times. Houston's won 2 out of 3, but all 3 meetings so far this year have been under the total of 217, which is what this line set at. So I'm going to go under 217 in Houston, Oklahoma City.
Well, the number is actually the best number you can get is 216, Sean, for minus
okay.
10.
It came down a point. Yeah.
It kind of went up and now it's coming back down again. And I agree with you, Sean. That's one with me. So we're in agreement on Houston and Oklahoma City going under. I was looking through there, and both teams have struggled to get in games that go over 216. I don't know. I almost feel like it's a sucker's bet. You know what I mean?
Well, let's hope not. I mean, we're the 2 suckers then.
Yeah, well, last night I was a sucker for sure. Way too often. It kind of really agitated me as I started off the show. Who else do you like here, Sean?
The other one I'm going to go, and I almost moneylined them, but I took your advice on this one. I'm going to take the Pelicans plus 3.5 against Dallas at minus 106.
The Pelicans plus 3.5, Sean, you can get them for minus 105. So not a bad number there.
Yeah, so I think the Pelicans might win this game, but 3.5 is enough. I will just take the points like everybody recommends me to do.
It's a smart thing. And, the funny thing is I actually think I actually have New Orleans winning this game outright in the simulator, Sean. So maybe you might think about the money line. Maybe half on the maybe half with the points and half on the money line.
Possibly. I'll just take the points for tonight.
He says no. All right. Any other plays that you like in the NBA tonight?
The NBA, no. I have 3 more college plays, but no NBA.
All right, so I'm on the under with you in the game with, like I said, with Houston and Oklahoma City. I'm loath to do this, Sean, because I've gotten kicked in the, like the Beavis and Butthead. They kicked them in. They kicked them in Jimmy Butler. But I'm going to do it. Denver and Orlando. The game is 207.5. Denver almost always plays in games that go over 207.5. They're very good at defense at home, but not so good at defense on the road. So minus 2 at over 207.5, Sean, is minus 110. Those are my 2 NBA plays for tonight.
Okay. So we're kind of late on the NBA today.
Yeah, well, it's not a heavy schedule, right?
No, it's not.
No, not at all. So the next up is some NCAA hoops. You said you got a lot of NCAA hoops, so let's hear what you got.
All right, so I got Citadel. Now this one I'm going to take to win outright with a plus line against North Carolina, Asheville. Citadel, they beat Pittsburgh earlier this year. They've played a couple good teams, and they're like 4-2. UNC Asheville's 3-3, and they really haven't played anybody. Citadel scores a lot of points, so I'm going to take Citadel and upset if you want to call it an upset. I think they're like plus 3.5.
Any idea what time that game starts, Sean?
6:30.
6:30 game. All right. So I'm trying to find that game on the. What did you get for a ticket?
What's that?
What did you get for a line there?
I saw plus
I can't
120.
find it.
Plus 126.
So you get plus 126. So I can't find Citadel because I guess you're the only person betting that damn game.
And there's a ton of college basketball tonight.
There sure is.
Then we'll go more mainstream here. I will take Michigan State, giving up 3.5 to Louisville. Louisville, they're all right, and they're good this year, but they're a really young team. I think Michigan State, they're the more veteran team. They're a better team overall. Giving up 3.5 is not a big deal. I'll take Michigan State. And then really,
Michigan State. All right.
Yeah, and then really tonight, Utah, USC. I'm going to go under 136.5. USC just held San Diego State to like 42 points. Their defense is really good.
Yeah, but what did San Diego score last night? We talked about them yesterday.
I know they don't, but USC's
score yesterday. I'm asking you, what did they score? I'm asking for you to. I don't know what they scored. It's a genuine question.
I thought they were in the 70s, but they only gave up like 40-some points because I did bet the under. Then after you said about the 98 cents out of a dollar being on the under definitely came in.
Yeah, so there you go.
So
one of those big money plays worked out, huh?
Yeah.
See, sometimes you follow the money. Not Sean and I follow the
money. Utah's the same. I mean, they're not a juggernaut offensively, probably better defensively. So 136.5 seemed a little high, so I will go with the under.
All right, so you go with the under minus 110 then. So for me, I have a couple college basketball games, Sean. I don't know if I want to play all these things to the halftime because, like I said yesterday, I won every single one at the half. But I feel like if I flip like you and jump off the bandwagon, if I become a legitimatized bandwagon jumper, then of course what'll happen is I'll go halftime and all my teams will be losing at halftime, but then cover at the end of the game, and then I'll come back tomorrow and I'll be bald, man. And not because I shaved my head, but just pull it all out. So here we go, Sean. I'm going to go with Iona minus 8. I'm going to go the full game as much as I don't want to do that. I'm going to take South Carolina today, too, against Coastal Carolina, minus 6.5. I red inked this game, Sean. Of all the games tonight, I feel like, and I know that I'm absolutely making this one an L, not a lock, but a loser by saying this. But when I look at the matchups, South Carolina seems to have some very strong advantages against Coastal Carolina. So you should probably run to the bank, mortgage everything you got, and take Coastal Carolina. But I'm going to take South Carolina minus 6.5. Bimington, there you go. There's a great game. Bimington and St. Joe's. I'm going to take Bimington, New York. I am the 12 points, Sean, but I'm going to halftime this one. So I think I'm getting at 12 points. I was getting 6.5. And then Marshall versus Akron, Sean. I think this game should be really in Marshall's favor. The line only minus 1.5 kind of concerned me a little bit, actually, because it was so light compared to what the matchup said. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Marshall, Sean. Full game, minus 1.5. Memphis against Georgia, Sean. I'm all over the NCAA map tonight because I feel like I'm going to rebound after last night's insane night. Memphis minus 11.5 on the road. Oof. You feel like that number is way, way, way too high. But again, when I look at the matchups, they have some significant offense versus defense matchups and defense versus offense matchups. And 11.5 doesn't seem like enough to me. I almost feel like half-timing that one, but I'm going to go the full game because I'm going to look for the free throws at the end. And then finally, Sean, I have one more game. I'm going to take Texas Tech on the road, minus 2.5, the full game. So what is that, about 20 of them?
Yeah, I have it written all over the place. I didn't give you enough room today on my paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you got 5, 6 college basketball plays.
And then 2 NBA plays. 8. What in the hell is going on, Sean?
You outdid me again.
You know what it is? It's chasing. When you get behind, you chase, and that's like a big mistake that you can make, right?
I will say I looked at the Texas Tech game. It's their first. You're coming to the point.
Action. It's just the Action Network, right, Sean?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Jimmy
Butler
now is officially out.
Yep, that's why that line moved then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he was game time decision and then with Bam being out as well, that's really tough.
That explains that 8.5 to 3.5, and it's probably even gone more.
Yeah, well, you're getting to the point a lot of these college basketball teams are making their first road game. Now you're not getting the neutral courts. So that's Texas Tech's first road game. So I almost took Providence, but the problem was I've been down that road with Providence against Virginia, and Virginia went in there and completely blew them out. So I passed on it. So hopefully you're on the right side
one of
of
the
that.
things I saw there, Texas Tech is one of the best defensive teams in the country, right? And they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country. So Providence is basically going to get one shot. It's going to be a difficult shot, and then they're not going to get a rebound.
Probably. The only thing is Texas Tech has not played anybody. I went on there. They have played nobody at all.
College basketball is a little bit different, though, because there's a lot of parity, right? I mean, otherwise 16s wouldn't beat 1s and 2s wouldn't beat 15s and all that once the tournament gets started.
But your Iona pick, I looked at that as well. That's really a good pick. They've been playing some tough teams.
No, we're going to lose that. Damn.
They've been playing some tough teams, so now they get back to
me like that. I don't know why. I text you.
You know why I do it? You know why I do it? So you have somebody to blame.
I text Sean. I blame the universe. You know what I'm saying? The universe is against me. I text Sean the other day, and he's like, "Man, I'm going to miss my same game parlay by 2 yards because of Tyler Heineke." And I said, "Well, maybe hope for the Seattle to go down and score a touchdown, tie the game, go to overtime. That way, the Washington football team can still win, and you're going to get those 3 yards." He's like, "No, I can't handle the stress." And then, of course, they go down and they score a touchdown, and they don't get the 2-point conversion. And I tell Sean, "See, I try to help you, but you don't want it. It's your fault they didn't convert the
You got to explain the whole story. I had a bunch of money on Washington winning too, so I was just ready. I could have lost all of that. Seattle comes back and wins. Plus, Washington didn't have their kicker.
I was trying to help you, not jinx you. So
I know, but you know how that could have went. That could have went. Seattle wins, and the whole thing just blew up in my face.
We'll leave that alone. All right. Any final thoughts, Sean, before we get up and out of here? This what is it? Wednesday? I think it's Monday.
Wednesday.
That's how confused I am. I'll change that on YouTube. It's not Monday, folks. It's Wednesday. Sean corrected me on that. Well, hopefully I do. Hopefully I had Wednesday. Wednesday. What? Anyway, I hope I legitimized. What is it?
Legitimize. Yeah. Wow.
Legitimize my picks tonight. All right, Sean. If you like what you saw, folks, please give us a thumbs up. Follow us on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. Help us get to 100 followers on YouTube so we can get the vanity URL. Follow us at Moneyline Madmen, both on Twitter and on Facebook, and head on over to moneylinemadman.com. Sean and I are working on some more content that we'll be adding up there. It's absolutely free. We're not going to make anybody pay for picks or the content that we get there. Just register you and then spam the hell out of you with offers.
Yeah, and actually I do have a final, NBA injuries, man, it is. You can find them on the internet, but it is not the easiest thing. I mean, some of these sites do not update them until the very last minute. It's ridiculous.
Should be more transparent, Sean.
Yeah.
What are they trying to hide?
Definitely should be. All
right, my man. You have a good night. Hopefully, we legitimatized all of our picks and we can stuff our pockets legitimatized full of cash. We'll see everybody tomorrow in 23-3. We'll be back with some NFL with the Dallas Cowboys heading off to New Orleans to play the Saints. And a new quarterback down there, and hopefully a whole new day where I feel a ton better because all of my picks are going to go from behind to ahead tonight. I just spoke it into the universe. May it happen. Have a great night, Sean. Good luck with your bets, everybody.